It's the Fellowship of the Geek Show, a weekly podcast about comics, the comic book industry, and other geek pop culture. Music courtesy of Manny the Martyr. And now, on with the show!
Hey there, everybody. It's the Fellowship of the Geeks podcast. My name is Thomas Chick, and joining me for this episode is Mike Marlowe.
Hey, gang.
Les Webster. And Liz Newman.
Hello, everybody. I almost said, hey!
That would be different.
It would. Downright shocking, even.
Oh, man.
As long as you didn't follow up with the Word of the Monkeys.
No.
I hope everybody's doing okay. Go ahead.
We're good.
Go ahead.
Mm-mm.
Go ahead.
No, I'm all right.
Go ahead. Well, I mean, that's debatable, but hope everybody out there's doing all right. So what's been going on in your corner of the galaxy?
I don't have a lot that I can talk about going on in my corner of the galaxy. So that's, yeah. I have enough.
Yeah, she's all talked out.
Just a bunch of swirling around, huh?
Yeah.
She's all talked out before we're recording, so you know. A little behind the scenes here. We just had a discussion about public domain and and Mickey Mouse and all that. So
Yeah.
and Liz and I are not seeing eye to eye, but that's okay. That's okay.
No, it's okay. Yep.
No, it's not, but go ahead.
Less wants blood.
I signed up for blood. Come on.
He started Mickey Mouse back in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You finished up Andor, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I did finish that. We've been gone 2 weeks, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah, because
that's my fault, by the way, this time.
No, that wasn't your fault. That was your internet provider's fault.
Well, sure, but I guess, in a way, the face of my internet provider. Yeah,
Well,
my internet line got cut for 5 days, so made it kind of hard to record last week. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's working now.
I did finish Andor. Now Brandon has watched the movie, so he kind of knew what was going on or what could happen. He's been waiting on me to watch season 2. Well, we finally get to the end of it, and I kind of looked at him and I said, "Is there another episode?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think so." And I said, "Okay." So then it clicks, you know how it is. If you finish something, it goes to the next show that's on your watch list. You know, so we go back, and it's like, did we just watch this episode? It's like, I don't think we watched this one. So it's like, okay, so we started again, you know, the last episode. And we're like, no, I'm pretty sure we just watched this one. So that should let you know how the finale was, because it wasn't. It didn't feel like a finale.
It wasn't particularly final.
Right. And he's like, well, you have to realize, he says, this was the end of Andor. He says, so they are leading you up to the movie.
Right.
The movie would be the finale. And it was like, yes, but, okay. Now, for 2 seasons, this kid's been telling me every 3 episodes is an arc. So every 3 episodes, we kind of got a finale. I mean, something that really bad happened that it was like, holy shit, you know. So now here comes the finale, and it's like, wah wah. Like, wait a minute, you know. They could have saved a few things that happened for the ending to kind of lead into, because it was like, okay, they did everything but show us the Death Star, you know. And so I said, baby one's about to happen, right? He said, what? BBY, right? BBY1. And he's like, oh, yeah. Baby one's
One.
about to happen. Well, that's all they play on the screen is BBY2, BBY3, you know. So, yeah, he's been great watching that, though, because he's like, kind of explains things. It's weird, because I works, right? You know, but he does a little bit further behind the scenes and stuff with Star Wars and do. So he was able to tell me, you know, when this
You
was
know what
happening.
you know what BBY stands for, right?
He said a few times. That's the first movie, right?
Yeah, before the battle,
Before Battle of Yavin, yeah.
which
Yeah,
was A New Hope.
yeah. See, and I think the ending of Andor, he was on his way to Yavin. So it's like, oh, we know he was. I mean, you know, we saw how this war plays out, right?
Mm. So
You
theoretically,
know,
they're only going to go so far.
yeah. Well, and it's weird because through the series he had a girlfriend named Bix, and I don't know. I felt like they really played up this relationship, and then she just left. He was getting ready to quit doing everything to be with her, and she pretty much told him, you know, if you won't choose the rebellion, I'm going to choose it for us. And she left. Well, at the very end of Andor, they show us her with a baby. So it's like, is that his baby, or she moved on? I mean, you know, the time period's really kind of dumped in this, so I don't know if that's his baby. So, you know, of course, Brandon's already watched the movie, so it's like, is she in the movie? And he's like, no. Is the baby in the movie? And he's like, no. So it's like, what the fuck? Why are you gonna show us that then? You know, just she's gone, she's happy, leave her alone. You know. So there was a few things that was kind of like, okay. I liked it. I feel like the movie is going to fill in a few more gaps, but some people who I thought were important weren't. So I'm really curious on how the movie's going to go, because the people who I thought would be the mains in the movie are either in prison or dead now. So it's like, we did finish Countdown.
Wasn't sure you were going to there for a bit.
Yeah, we definitely dragged our heels on that one. I wasn't enjoying it too much, and that's sad because the way they did it, it's kind of screwy, because most shows aren't set up the way that the formula they did. They gave us a story, they gave us a finale to that story, and they wrapped it all up, and then they had 3 episodes left. So that was kind of like, what? You know? So now,
That's
since
a hell of a
they
lot of
only
epilogue.
right, well, since they only took like 8 episodes to tell the other story, we're halfway through another story now, and they ended it. So it's kind of like, okay, are we going to see how this ends, or which honestly I don't think we will, which is kind of sad, and not because of ratings. I had noticed the other day when we were watching something in there, it's still in the top 10. So it's not because of ratings, but right before Countdown came out, Eric Dane had announced that he has ALS and that it was kind of hard. You know, I can only imagine. I have a brother-in-law who has MS, and it's hard when you watch somebody you love kind of lose control of their body little pieces at a time. And it sounds like with ALS, it's not only their body they're losing pieces of, it's also their mind. So,
Yeah.
you know, that was kind of, but then he did the movie, you know, he did the TV show, and it was like he did really great. So it's like we were hoping for the best. Well, the other night at the Emmys, he was getting ready to go, and he fell, and he had to go to the hospital, so he completely missed the Emmys. And now he's saying that he won't be back for season 2. And given the character that he was, I don't see how they could replace him. So I don't think, just out of respect for him, I don't think they'll finish the season with it, or series with the season 2. So if you liked it, yay. Like I said, I don't see that happening. Not without him. So, but Jensen does have a lot of other projects going on with Prime. I think CBS just announced that Tracker is coming back for the 3rd season, and the first 2 episodes he'll be in there. So that'll be fun. I like it. I liked him in Tracker better than I did in Countdown. And it's weird because he's not the main star in Tracker. He's definitely a sidecar. You know, it's the guy's brother, but like I said, he's not the main guy. But I definitely like him better. And he also did one. Is it called Big Sky? I think it was called Big Sky. I didn't particularly care for him in that one either. So I think with Big Sky they tried to tap too hard into Dean. And at that point, Jensen's kind of like, okay, I've done Dean for 15 years. I don't want to do Dean anymore, you know. So you can kind of feel that he's doing this, but I don't want to be doing this kind of thing. So we'll see. As irons in the fire.
Hopefully not too many.
Yeah, I think they said bye right now. He's got the Tracker. He's got the boys coming up. I think he's making a guest appearance in Gene B. That offshoot of the boys, Thought Rising. There's one other one. I'm not gonna say it was a DC project. Was it animated? I can't remember right now. It's been a while since I looked into Jensen. Mhm.
Hours.
Yeah.
Minutes, even.
I've kind of stepped away from my computer for a while. It's depressing. People suck.
Yes, they do.
The solution is to turn it off, you know.
Yep. Sometimes just got to walk away.
And you do.
Not
Shut
until we're done
down.
recording, of course, but otherwise.
Right. Yeah. And when I have been on, I've been following a story I'll talk about later. It's kind of crazy.
Teaser.
Teaser.
Well, all right. Then I'll jump in. And like I said, I spent a large chunk of last week without internet in my house. So fortunately, one, I have a coffee shop with Wi-Fi within walking distance of my house, which has turned out to be really nice the last couple of weeks.
Right.
And two, what I started watching for funsies on the side, since we're watching movies already for the show, I had on DVD so I could actually keep watching it. So I kind of, while I was planning on doing like one episode a week, I ended up mainlining it the whole time my internet was out. So I now have rewatched all of the Police Squad episodes, kind of in much, like I said, much shorter order than I'd intended. But, and weirdly, well, not weirdly, but more so than you might think, it really holds up well. It's still funny, man. I mean, mainly because this was, God, 45 years ago almost. Jesus Christ, we're old. And nearly everything on TV is still a cop show. So it's still making fun of what's happening now, decades later. It's great. I mean, admittedly, it does it in a very pointed way because it's making fun of something that at the time they made it was like 10 years old. But it was really kind of making fun of the fact that cop shows dominated the 70s. Well, cop shows are still dominating in the 2020s. So, and this shit's just funny. I mean, Leslie Nielsen was a genius find when they found him for Airplane, because he loved, he's done it in many interviews over the years about how he was really concerned going into that filming of that movie, and just absolutely had the best time of his life doing it, and was thrilled when they contacted him a couple of years later to do Police Squad, and then turned around and wrote it. I mean, built an entirely new career for himself out of it by doing roles like that. 3 Naked Gun movies. Um, he did a Mel Brooks movie, for crying out loud, and a bunch of other parodies that were maybe a little less good. But I mean, there's a few interesting gems in there. And so this is kind of the ground floor of some really interesting stuff. And so many just weird ass guest stars. The whole, at the beginning, the special guest star, who, spoiler for, again, a 40-plus-year-old TV series, they all die. It's the special guest star is in the opening credits, and it's their death scene. The likes of Lorne Greene, Florence Henderson, William Shatner, Robert Goulet. These people, it's like a 10-second or 15-second death scene in the opening credits every week, and they never show up again. A couple of other fun guest stars. In one episode, so you've got Johnny, who's the shoe shine guy outside the precinct, and Frank is always going to him and getting information from him. And it's shit that's just, there's just no way there's no way this guy really knows this stuff, but it's just like he's feeding them plots for the episodes, basically. Okay, how do I do this? Well, okay, you got to go down to I mean, it's like he's just reading the script at them. It's hilarious. But so Frank gets done and gets off the thing and walks away, and somebody else walks up. Well, in one of these, the person who walks up after Frank is Dick Clark.
Oh yeah, the ska.
Yeah, he starts asking Johnny about new music styles, and Johnny explains ska to him, and then Dick Clark asks him, "Do you have some of the cream, the youth cream?" So he pays him, buys the stuff from him, and he's like rubbing it on his face as he's walking it away, and it's just
Right.
hilarious because even in 1982, people were talking about how well preserved Dick Clark was
Right.
because he'd been doing American Bandstand for 20 years at least at that point. But yeah, so stuff like that. Tommy Lasorda shows up in one and is asking him about pitching rotations. And it's just hilarious. And if I remember correctly, it was the last episode. We get a brief Dick Miller appearance, just for funsies, just because why the hell not? Why would we not have Dick Miller in everything? Because Dick Miller's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you've not watched this, if you have seen any of the airplane style comedies in the last 40 years and you haven't seen Police Squad, watch Police Squad. You'll understand. It will all make sense.
Cool.
I cannot recommend it highly enough. And on top of that, I'm actually managing to get ahead again, thanks to the week off on the movies for this month. So yay.
Dun, da-da.
Yay.
Okay. Wes?
For me, first, I'm going to say that countdown will continue, although Eric Dane has decided to step away, and I understand why, but I believe that they will continue because they've got a strong cast. They also have a strong storyline, especially the one going now.
Yeah.
So
I definitely like the
I'm
second
going to
story better than the first.
second story showing a lot of promise,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got a feeling that it's going to carry forward.
I hope so.
Other than that, I do too. I'm going to say that I've been seen watching crap, and I don't mind saying that I've been watching crap because it's good crap to watch, which is my forte. Uh,
Crap. 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 Crap.
Watching one right now. I'm watching it on Prime, but it's also available on uh, Tubi. It's called Jacko, as in lantern.
Ah.
So on Tubi, there are currently a lot of Halloween movies.
I bet.
A lot of them I had never heard of, but that made no difference. When I saw it, let's go watch it. So for me, that's about what I've been able to, what I could bring you tonight. Is that there's a lot of stuff out there currently, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about them at another time.
Yeah, I get the updates from Tubi, and they sent one today saying that they added more horror films, including the Child's Play remake I'm looking at right now, and Horror Dracula, which I hadn't seen that in several years.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Pink Panther with Peter Sellers and David Niven.
Yeah, I keep meaning to watch that one, and I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah. And Gilda.
Because she passed away recently, didn't she?
Yes. Claudia Cardinale.
Oh, right, yeah.
Also in Once Upon a Time in the West,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really good film. I'd like to see that one again.
She did a bunch of spaghetti westerns, didn't she?
Yep. Well, for me, doing a lot more of the body cam and dash cams and all this, and I came across. I've seen these shorts off and on for a while, but I finally decided to follow this channel, and it's called Driving with John. And you may have seen it. I don't know how often y'all look at the shorts, but he is a retired trucker, but he posts these little uh, short dash cam video cam shorts. He does some full length ones too, but I have not checked those out. But it's just some of these crazy dash cam videos, and the thing that kind of drawed me toward him in these particular videos was the music that he would attach to the short. He's using a chorus from a song that was performed by Dennis Stephen Wright, and let me just go ahead. Please forgive me. I'm not a great singer, but I gotta sing this because it's so catchy, and you can see why he chose this song. Y'all ready?
As ready as we'll ever be.
Okay. You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. You're grade A, number one, qualified first class. You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. And you'll be one all your dumbass life.
Is that from The Grinch?
No, it's a song called Dumbass.
Oh,
All right, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. You can see why I kind of was attracted to it. Especially when you're watching the video of a car that decides to cut right in front of a semi truck and gets pitted. Well, you know what? You deserve that, you dumbass.
Right. Yeah, that was inevitable. Cool.
It's a fun little channel. And just prior to recording, I watched one of these body cams, and then I'm like, oh my god, this woman, 34. I don't remember. It's within the last couple of years. 34-year-old. Apparently, the relationship with the boyfriend has ended. She got so pissed. She took her tampon, set it on fire, tried to burn down the apartment complex, and then blame him for it. Blame everything on him. Except for its apartment complex, so there's cameras everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she was a psych major, and here she is gaslighting every damn thing, projecting everything on him. They were in a relationship for 6 years, but they've argued every damn day. And he's been cheating on her, but she wants to get together with him again. Like, No. No.
That seems like an incredibly bad idea.
Like,
Almost as
my
bad as the
God.
pancake.
Uh-huh. Almost.
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 And the one I just watched before that was a woman who was arrested from shoplifting from Walmart the day before, including, which I did not know that someone who used to work at Walmart, I did not know that they carry these, but an item for gratification for women. Let's just say that.
Interesting. I wouldn't have known you could. I mean, I wouldn't know it at Walmart for sure.
You definitely don't want to buy
I don't
one
know
of those
either.
from Walmart, okay?
I wouldn't have thought so, right?
Well, and then she was trying to do. Well, and she was trying to, and she was willing to return everything to keep out of going to jail. And like, yeah, I don't think that's one item you would want.
Yeah.
They would accept back.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, not if it's not in the box. No.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, she took everything out of the box to steal it.
Liz, chill out, right?
But here's the.
I should have said packaging, but that probably wouldn't have been any better.
But yeah. You said package. But here's the final joke about the whole thing. The total amount of the items she took was less than $300,
Mhm.
but she had to pay $600 in fees and restitution and this, that, and the other. So like, wow. Okay. It would have been cheaper for her to buy the damn stuff instead of steal it.
Mhm. That's how that usually works.
Oh, God. No, not with her. Because she's a little face giddy. So anyway, before we take our first break, as y'all know, this is horror month, and we've been doing films based off Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But for this week, we are taking a little bit of a detour because we'll be joined by Madeleine Holly-Rosing, who has a new Kickstarter that's about to start up. So longtime listeners would know she's been with us several times in the past. So we had her back on to talk about all things Boston metaphysical, and of course her other project, Morgana, and what else is going on in her life. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll get into the interview, and then we'll be back to do some news items and all that other good stuff. So we'll be right back. Well, hey Madeleine, thanks for coming back on the show. How's it going for you?
Well, as we were talking about earlier, I moved. I know I've been telling about that, the people in newsletters and Kickstarter updates, and so yeah, the deal is done. We've moved up to Oregon, and it's lovely up here. Of course, it's before the rain starts. For those of your listeners who are from the Southern California area, it's going to be a bit of an adjustment for us. My understanding is it basically rains for about 4 months. and then it becomes
Not the same way it did in LA. Not the same way. It'll be a different kind of
not at
rain.
all. Not at all. But when I was up here in January, because one of the things we did over the past year was we came up here in different times of the year to see what it was like. So we've been up here,
Good idea.
in December and January, and also in the summer. And so what I did notice, and the locals confirmed it, is that once the rain season starts, rain starts at about 8 o'clock in the evening, goes through the night until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then there's a break for about 3 hours. Everyone goes out and walks their dogs. Everyone does. And then at 5, it starts to drizzle, and then back at 8 o'clock, it's wash repeat every single day. And
Wow.
something I noticed when I was up here looking at property, because it'd be like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon ish, and the rain stopped. It was still chilly and it was still cold out, and then it's like, boom, I see all these dog walkers everywhere. And I said, oh, okay, I get it now. I get how everything works. And some locals confirmed that that's exactly true. That's exactly what happened. So, but it's fine. It's so far it's been great. I mean, one of the really nice things up here is the lack of traffic. You can get to about any place you want to go in 11 and 12 minutes, which is
Wow.
astounding if you're from Los Angeles. And even getting up to Portland I did Rose City Comic Con in September, and we hadn't quite moved in, but I stayed at the house and I commuted back and forth, and literally door to door from here to the Oregon Convention Center was like 56 minutes. And I
Wow.
said, that's no big deal. I mean, that's how long it takes to get to Anaheim for WonderCon. So who cares? That's fine. And the parking is easier
Oh, I bet.
sometimes. But so no, I'm sure I will miss some aspects of Southern California, particularly the more sunny days. But yeah, it's so far so good.
The one thing that your newsletter did make me a bit jealous of is I would have loved to have taken you up on that Apple offer, but I do
Oh
not
my
live in
God.
Salem.
We part of what came to the house was a small apple orchard of like 19 trees. And the previous owner was very much into cider making. We are doing it all. So I talked to the realtor and I said, I need to do something with these apples. Maybe there's, food bank or something I can do. And in fact, there is. There's a organization called Salem Harvest. It's a 501c3. I got a hold of them, and they have regular volunteers where they come out and harvest produce from small farms and backyards and things like that.
Oh,
And
wow.
the volunteers get a portion, and then the rest goes through Salem Harvest for food banks all over the area. And which was great. And they did a terrific job. And I had extra stuff. I had like the previous owner was like a master gardener. So we had all these freaking pumpkins and tomatoes and
Wow.
more produce than, a human being could actually eat. Apparently he used to feed the neighborhood. But yeah, so we were going to be on their regular rounds. They got all the apples. It was like over 800 pounds of apples,
Dang.
and it was going straight to food banks and other things. So it was wonderful to be able to have, it all go to a good cause.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
now, we'll be on regular rotation for next year. So I just I didn't want to. The trees are. Like I said, I'm not. I wanted to garden and I didn't want to farm, but I have a little farm now. But one of the things, I wanted to do is these trees are some of them are heirloom apples that
Hmm.
came from colonial times for all,
Right.
So, and that's really cool. So you want to keep that because they aren't around. And the picture that was in the newsletter, that's apparently one of the best cider apples. And it's beautiful. It has that beautiful red color. It's almost like
It does.
fuchsia. It's just gorgeous. And it actually tastes really good. It's a little tart, but all of them are great eating apples. Uh, That's not your standard, the stuff you see in the store. And they're not as pretty either, but who cares if they taste good?
Right. They don't need to be pretty.
But yeah, those are just gorgeous. So we did keep one tree for ourselves, which is what was it called? A gold rush. It's a combination of a golden delicious and a gray smith.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so that it makes for a great eating apple. Apparently, I'm learning a lot, by the way. I knew none of this, 3 months ago. It's a great eating apple and dessert apple, and apparently it keeps well, uh, in the off season, um, if you keep it in a cool place. So yeah, I learned from the previous owner and from Salem Harvest, and they did a great job. They have people coming in. They have, I guess they send a newsletter out to sign up for harvest, and it gets filled up immediately. And so it's a very giving community.
It sounds like they've got it organized pretty well too.
Oh, they do. They had those trees done in like an hour.
Oh, wow.
I was like, whoa. So yeah, it's interesting, and like I said, we're learning a lot of new things, which is okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm actually supposed to talk about the upcoming Kickstarter as opposed to apples.
I mean, we don't mind having a food segment on the show here. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a
Oh, we
problem
got
with food.
figs too. I know.
Guy
And
Fieri
we
is
have
gonna be on
figs
after
too.
you.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
It's just, yeah. It's I've never grown figs, so I guess I'll be experimenting with those. Maybe I'll write about that in the newsletter.
Hmm.
There
You
there you go.
probably go on for a while or for multiple issues. Here's how
Multiple
you grow
issues of
figs, and
new
here's how you harvest figs, and here's how you cook figs, and here's the kind of dishes you can
figs.
have. That would be fun. I
Yeah.
just realized I may be
So
pitching
yeah,
a
this
separate newsletter here, but it's all good.
Well, trying to
well,
figure it
what I'll
all
do is
out.
I'll break it up if I find a really good recipe, then I'll let people know.
Yeah.
Because I have had recipes before in the past, in the newsletter of easy like Kodiak hacks. If you ever have you ever gotten the Kodiak whole grain mixes or anything?
Hmm. Yeah. We have
Yeah,
those down here.
yeah, yeah. They have a lot of sugar in them, so yeah, you really have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, a lot of
So
the pre-mix mixes have a lot of things in them that you might not always want. But anyway, that's again, we're
yeah,
way off the
we're
farther
getting
away
so
from
off topic. I know.
it's
It's like
fine.
apples, yeah, baking, and swing it back to the comics. Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna be in all this chaos and anarchy. I'm gonna be launching a Kickstarter on Tuesday, October 14th, for issues 3 and 4 of Mystery Pike's Peak. Most people know that I had to bring a new artist on board. Her name's Daniela Rivera. She's done a terrific job. I kept Katie Brown, the colorist, because for continuity, and they're both a joy to work with, and I'm very happy to have them on board. I actually got to meet Danny at San Diego Comic-Con, which was wonderful because she lives in Mexico. So she was up there playing and with her pro badge. And so yeah, it was lovely to meet her.
Cool.
But it's great. I like working with different artists because I always learn something. And that's good for everybody. But yeah, so for those who are brand new to Boston Metaphysical, the basic premise is about an ex-Pinkerton detective, a spirit photographer, and a genius scientist who battled supernatural forces in late 1800s Boston. We started with a 6-issue miniseries, which is now in volume 1, and then did 4 standalone sequels, which are all now in volume 2. And Mystery at Pike's Peak, the team has grown, and we're traveling a bit here to Pikes Peak, Colorado. So this will essentially is the 3rd series in this universe. And I brought Tesla back, introduced some new characters, and having tons of fun with mystery and people almost being killed and all the usual fun stuff that makes a good story. But yeah, we'll have also a new lapel pin, which I like to do with every new Boston Metaphysical Kickstarter. This one is one of the compound bow that Samuel sometimes uses. And we hadn't done one of those yet, so I had to add that to the mix.
Nice.
And we'll also have some great variant covers. And so yeah, we'll launch on the 14th and run until for 30 days. But I do strongly recommend that people get on early, and I'm sure you guys will have and I can always send it to you if you don't have it, the Notify sign up link, because we will have early bird specials.
Awesome.
And the early bird specials are always, as you've probably seen, are always a really good deal.
They are.
They are.
And what else? Angela Wu did the standard covers, which look amazing. And yeah, I will be offering metal options for the variants for those people who want them. And those always look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And you've probably seen the variant covers. You might have seen all the covers by now. I'm not sure. The one by Yishan Lee and Gwen, and the standard by Angela.
Yeah, and they, true to form, look really, really good. I mean,
Yep.
You've definitely your team definitely has the covers thing down.
Yeah, Angela's. They've all been great. I wish I could have gotten 3 and 4 out sooner, but it's beyond. Some life happens.
2025 has been a hell of a year.
And so, but yeah, the issue 3 is in the can. Pre-press is done. Everything's done. Issue 4 is being lettered right now. Troy, it's a little delayed. He has. I'm not his top priority.
Troy's a busy guy. I'm just,
He's a very busy man, and so I get it, which is why I always build buffer to everything for him, because I know he squeezes me when he can. And so that should probably be done by the end of this week, and then it'll go to pre-press. So obviously this stuff will be ready to go to the printer by the end of the campaign.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure, because of the problems with my previous artist, that issues 3 and 4 were ready to go before we launched.
Right. Just makes things easier.
Because I know everyone's been waiting a long time. Yeah, and people have been waiting a long time for this, so I get it.
We want to know who's trying to kill Tesla, or if that's really what's happening.
That's right. We
We
don't
want to know who's trying to
We don't know. It's
contact
a mystery.
Caitlin. I'm gonna try. I won't go too spoilery, believe me. But yeah, I mean, the issues 1 and 2, which I'm just absolutely certain will be available with this one as well. You can get them as add-ons.
Yes. Yes.
There's a lot of build-up in those 2 issues. A lot of build-up, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on. A lot of meeting a lot of new people. A lot of interesting characters, some character development. We are learning a lot about Tesla.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. In my research with him, which I guess some people don't realize, is he did used to gamble and he did used to smoke. But he stopped smoking because he felt that it wasn't good for him. I mean, he didn't have any evidence at the time, but he just like, I think this is bad for me, and he stopped doing it.
Back in that time frame,
so he actually
doctors used to prescribe smoking tobacco.
Yeah.
I mean, because they said it was good for your lungs and your throat. Oh yeah, it's insane.
Oh yeah. I know. So I don't have no idea how he came to that conclusion, but he did. So he, in fact, and I thought that would be a nice little thing to add, because you in issue 2 you see that he's gambling and he's smoking, and I know some people were like, oh, Tesla didn't do that, but he did when he was younger.
He did a lot of things that normal people did.
He changed his ways. Yeah. So I mean, I thought that was a very interesting character thing to add to the story when I learned that about him. Because he's such a pain in the ass in the story. So he's a great character.
Yes, he is. And I mean, in the kind of ways that you would expect that level of genius to be. I mean, he just wasn't a people person. He was never. And this is stuff that's written about him. This is historically accurate. He just wasn't a people person.
Yeah. And I mean, he obviously was very intelligent, and he was a pain in the ass, but often he was, more than often than not, he was right about everything. And so it's really fun because he's such a pain in the ass, and Samuel is such a stickler for pretty much law and order and doing things and the right way.
And also, let's be realistic.
And not that Granville and Caitlin. Yes.
Just a little, not nearly as much as Tesla.
Yeah. I mean, all of the characters are. Yeah, they're all a little bit of pain in the ass at some point.
Right. Like people,
I mean, I think the only one who really isn't maybe is Granville, because he's such the gentleman. The gentleman scientist.
Right. It makes you wonder how he got anything done, right? He's so busy being polite to people, trying to calm ruffled feathers. He's a hell of a diplomat, along with being a hell of a scientist.
Yeah, most of the time, except you may or may not recall, in the original 6-issue miniseries, he did punch Edison.
I mean, Edison had it coming. Come on.
He had it coming. Yeah. Granville did end up punching Edison.
Also a pain in the ass. I mean.
Also a pain in the ass. And, and more often than not, sometimes he was right. So, yeah. It's even worse. I have my dog here. She's like whining. Because why are you paying attention to me? Yeah, this is all very new to her.
Oh, I bet.
She had to travel 3 series up from Southern California up here, and she did really well because she's never traveled with us before, and I think she liked it.
Well, that's good
But yeah,
because you never really know.
now she's just no, she's staring outside. I wonder if she wants to go outside. But yeah, one of the nice things is moving is I actually get an office that's just my office and not a combination workout room, storage, and fulfillment center,
That's cool.
which is nice. But yeah, it's easier to get distracted. I'm sitting here in my new office, going like, "Oh yeah, I have a new office." But yeah, we've got Boss Metaphysical, and yes, I will be writing another series after this one, but I need to finish the issues 3 and 4 of Morgana first, before I do that.
So
I don't know if you got onto the Morgana, my new series, for the Kickstarter, but issue 2 is the art and coloring are done. It just needs to be lettered, and we're going to do a Kickstarter for that in February.
cool.
And then my hope is to do a Kickstarter later in the year for both issues 3 and 4 of Morgana, and that off. So my plate is full.
Sounds like it.
You know, that's a good thing.
That is.
And yeah,
Along with, I know we're going to be unboxing for months. I know that.
Oh, sure. You're going to be unboxing while you're boxing up stuff for this Kickstarter. Even that won't be confusing at all, right?
Oh yeah, sometimes I do get confused because I will come to my computer and someone will be asking me something and I was like, okay, is this for Morgana or is this for Boston Metaphysical? It's like, and even when I'm like saving files, I sometimes go to the wrong folder.
Yeah.
Back and forth between the two. So yeah, it makes me a little
It's
nuts.
a juggling act.
But
well, heck, while we're on it, tell us about Morgana Pendragon.
yeah.
Since we missed it, we missed the Kickstarter last time.
Since you missed it.
Oh, I got in on the
Marty.
Kickstarter, but we missed talking to you about it.
Oh, okay.
So I read it.
Well, let me get over here so I refresh my memory. Yeah, it's for those who haven't heard of it, it's my brand new series. The art is done by Alden Kay. He was introduced to me by David Walker, who is a Portland comic writer. You may know him from Bitterroot, Planet of the Apes, Big Jim, and he's won a couple Eisners. But a year ago, he and I were chatting at Rose City, and I said, "Hey, I have this new, project coming up, and I'm looking for an artist." He says, "Oh, I found this guy. He's great." He says, "Okay." He goes, "Can I send him to your table?" I said, "That would be great." So Alden comes up, and he says, "Oh, David sent me over." He goes, "Can I show you my portfolio?" I said, "Of course." So I started looking through this, and I went like, "He's my guy." I found my artist.
Well, that was easy.
And I said, well, I'd actually been looking for quite a while, and I had a list, but then I looked at Alden, and then I found out that he won the Mad Cave competition.
Oh, wow, cool.
And yeah, he's well, you've gotten everything, so you've seen how good he is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as soon as I was ready, I slapped a 4-issue contract on him. And so yeah, he's in for all 4 issues. Though he is doing some stuff for Mad Cave, but we'll work all that out. I'm not worried about it at all.
Sure.
And then Warnia Sahadawe, I worked with her before. she's done a lot of work with Roberta Ingranata, who did Doctor Who for Titan Comics, and Roberta actually did one of the variants for Morgana. Rio Burton is doing all the main covers. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about at all, which is fair, the story is about a 40-year-old Morgana who has been leading a mercenary team for the last 20 years all over the world until she receives a message that her brother, King Arthur, is dying. So she returns to England to face assassination attempts, political intrigue, and a child she left behind, Mordred, and also a new threat that will forever change her and the future of her country. So this all started many, 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 many years ago. I wrote a feature film script called Morgana. It was a much younger character. It was a very, very different story. And I always wanted to go back to it in some fashion, but that story was not represent me anymore. And it didn't represent what I wanted her to be. And you see very few women of middle age in comics are proactive, who are the lead. And so, she's been maligned forever through every bit of media you've ever seen, practically. I mean, yes, she's been shown as intelligent and cunning, but also evil, seductress, a witch. I mean, all that stuff that men usually say about women who have their own agency and don't need them, and also have more power than them. But I mean, this is the Morgana that I created is a woman who no longer has her magic available to her, and has, she is a mercenary, a professional mercenary, and knows how to win wars. So that has been her occupation for 20 years. And while she's been doing this, she's been collecting a team that, for me, is more representative of the world in which an actual real Morgana would live in from the 6th century. And since we had the Silk Road, people traveled. People forget that people moved around.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to represent that in the comic as well. So you have a real, obviously this is a completely fictional character and fictional story, but it's grounded in a real 6th century with, armament and battle tactics and the way of life and the way people lived and died. And so it's been a lot of fun, and I'm really pleased with the reviews we've gotten back on it so far have been very good. I've been very pleased with that. Alden and the whole team has just done an outstanding job. And I think, quite frankly, I've leveled up with Morgana, and I'm pretty proud of the project. So there is more to come with that. So look for that in February. And I've already, like I said, the art and coloring is already done. The variant covers I have one variant cover by Claudia Annunziolo, which I think people are going to absolutely love, as well as Rio's cover. But yeah, it's just I wanted to do a very different take on the usual. And no one has ever done Morgana middle-aged human before that I know of. They've always done her when she's, young, hot, and sexy. Not that she isn't attractive, woman at middle age, but it's just different.
It is, and it's a
And one of the reasons,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
she's a really interesting character too. I mean, just setting up from the first issue, um, she's clearly a strong person, and she's earned the loyalty of her companions, um, in a way that you would never see ordinarily in that sort of story or legend or whatever. The legendary just didn't go there. Morgana got, like you said, she got pigeonholed as the villain in a few too many of the legends about Arthur and the knights.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think a lot of those stories went with stereotypical tropes and characterizations of her, because it's just easy to do, to make her the bad guy, the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, my iteration of her character is, she's a fully formed human. She's a fully formed adult woman, and who has made mistakes, has paid for them, has done things for the right reasons and still failed. As you probably caught in the first issue, what Arthur did and what Arthur wanted her to do. And that's what caused her to revolt.
Mm-hmm.
And what he wanted her to do was not a nice thing.
It was not.
I don't want to ruin it for anybody. It was not. It was not. She refused and went to war and lost. And when in actuality, she was actually right. What he was doing was wrong.
Yep.
But he prevailed. So yeah. So, and then you add Mordred to the mix, who's clearly resentful of his mother suddenly showing up after 20 years. And everyone has an agenda, but you're never quite sure what that agenda is. So it's a lot of fun. And one of the reasons I hired Alden is he draws female characters very well, but he also doesn't objectify them. He draws them as real women.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey guys, this is what we actually look like. And and these are the clothes we actually wear when we have to go to battle.
Right.
Not a thong and a leather bra.
Yeah, as good as Helen Mirren was in Excalibur, it's not realistic in any way.
No, and it's fair. I mean, there is always room for, the TNA in comics or in anything. It's whatever you enjoy, that's fine. But you're never going to see a boob window in any of my comics. Never happen unless I'm doing a parody of something. That's the only.
Hey, there's a thought.
Yeah, I could do a parody. That would be hysterical. We talked a lot. Alden and I talked a lot about. I sent him images of clothing and to be wearing, and but the men as well. That was suitable, and you'll see the armament they use is kind of that is a cultural mix, because like Getty, who's West African, he was a guardsman, will use, because he's well traveled, has found he likes the Persian helmet better than a Frankia one. That works better for him. So you're going to see a mix of cultures in armament and clothing, because they've been around enough. They know what works for them on an everyday level. And which was a lot of fun. But I had one reviewer who mentioned in the email to me before he posted the review that he really wanted to see the prequels, the lost stories of what he called this medieval A-team. And, at the time I was just living, being constantly tired because we were prepping for moving, prepping for fulfillment, prepping, getting all this stuff done before we moved. I went like, oh my God, he's right. I could do all these prequel stories of, when she first met Getty, how Connor and Ursmar joined the team, much like I've done with Boston Metaphysical, where I do prequel stories as well.
Mm-hmm.
That I do for the trades, that shed a little more light on everybody's background and some of the stories that happened before people met and they got together. So I went like, yeah, no, he's absolutely right. And you get a hint of it. They actually, instead of magic, they use science. Surprise, surprise. And you get a hint of that in the first issue, but I don't really have time to expand on it. And that's something I could do in prequel stories or just little side stories. That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, like where did Morgana get the idea to use fireworks for stuff like that? And
I actually know that.
There's a lot.
I have the answer to that.
Awesome. There you go.
Yeah, no, I actually have the answer to many of those questions.
Now all you need is time to write them into stories, right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Time is a big factor, but yeah, I think we're going to be going back and forth. Like when we launch a Kickstarter next week, I'm basically at the computer for like 3 days, and then I start spreading things out. But the first 3 days are always the most intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think after that, I'll take breaks and it's like, okay, I'll unbox these 3 boxes today, then go back to the Kickstarter, and then another 2 boxes, go back to the Kickstarter, go walk the dog, go work on the Kickstarter.
As long as you get the dog walking in between that 2 to 5 window.
Yep.
Yeah, that fortunately, that probably won't start for, I'm hoping, another month. Because today was actually beautiful. It was like 70-something degrees outside. It was gorgeous. But I think we are getting some rain towards the end of the week.
That sounds nice. We're still clipping 90 on a regular basis down here.
Oh yeah. No, it was 90 down in LA as well. Before we left. I know my husband will be going back down because we're in the process of also selling the house down there too. So
sure.
Getting all that ready takes a lot of time.
That's a process, let me tell you. Been there.
Yeah, the real process was getting my computer set up and looking at all the cables behind everything, going like, okay, now where do these go?
Oh, yes.
Like, I knew this, a decade ago, but now I'm going like, okay.
Right, why
so
the
you
hell
just
didn't
sort
I label
everything
these?
out. And we didn't, yeah, that would have been smart.
Nobody does
we
that.
Didn't do that.
Nobody, don't feel bad. Nobody does that.
I usually just take a picture.
I mostly figured it out.
See?
I'm sorry, what?
I take a picture of where everything was. So that way when I take everything apart, when I'm putting it back together, it's like,
oh, that's really smart.
And that's genius right there. That is practical
very,
genius.
very smart.
Yeah, because if not, I'm
No, that's
lost.
very smart.
I mean, stuff like that is why we have these microcomputers in our pockets all day long anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, my cohorts don't call me when it's time for fixing a computer. So I don't understand why, but
Speaking of which, how is your computer, Les?
Yeah.
okay till now.
Right, until we started talking smack about it.
Yeah. Oh, also, I just put up the for Morgana, the Kickstarter thank you wall. You may have seen the update, so I think your name is correct. It's so bizarre. I download everything from Becker Kit, and then sometimes it cuts off people's last names into Cyrillic or something, and so most of the time I catch it. I catch everything that's in Cyrillic, but I don't always catch the ones that were chop off the last couple, because I tell people, I said, let me know if there's something wrong or a misspelling. And so I got a person who's like, oh yeah, missing the last half of my last name. I'm like, okay, I'll fix it.
That's weird. That anyway.
It's so weird.
It is
So weird because you download it into like an Excel spreadsheet.
Right. You'd think it'd be a simple
and then
CSV file and it would just dump the data, and it's never that simple apparently.
Yeah, you would think, but then I have names that are non-English necessarily, or not, yeah, they're not English. They're written in Arabic letters, but from Serbia and Croatia and that have different letters and accents, and it really does weird things to those. So yeah, I do go in and try to catch as many as I can, but every once in a while something slips by.
It's always something.
I still have whiny doggy in here. I think she just wants attention. Yeah, we lost her buddy in April to cancer, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah. But we'll get her a buddy soon once we get settled. She's old. She's 12.
Oh, that's not bad.
She's still in pretty good shape.
Cool.
Okay, you gonna lay down there? Nope. Okay, nope. She's trying to figure it out.
New place, new routine to find.
Yep.
Yeah, that is quite true. And unfortunately, I think she also has kennel cough.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It's mild, but still always kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so those are the two series. Boston Metaphysicals coming up first on October 14th. And then we've got Morgana 2 in February, and I'll try to remember to reach out to you guys for that.
Well, and we'll try to remember to get the message this time.
Yep.
That was all me. I am the culprit.
I think I probably have your email through Kickstarter, so I could also just email you if you don't mind.
No, yeah, it's fine. We'll figure out a way to stay in better contact. It's fine. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so we've got a link in the show notes for the upcoming Kickstarter, the prep for it. It'll be coming out right after this drops, so it'll all be good. Check it out because it's fun stuff, especially if you are into any degree of science. Historical stuff is also a great lead in for it. And damn it, they're just fun to read.
Yeah, the Boston Metaphysical is, more of your kind of science detective supernatural mystery thing going on. And Morgana, I get to exercise my my action chops, which is a lot of fun. So we get to have lots of fight scenes and battles
Lots
and
of medieval fighting. Yep.
medieval fighting, and Alden does such a great job, and he is so amazingly talented. I'm having him do stuff that he's never done before. Apparently Morgana is his first comic book series that he's done, which astounds me. I had him stop by my table at Rose City because I said, "Hey, I've got a copy for you, and it'd be great if you could sign a few copies here for people who stop by the table." And he said, "Sure." And so, of course, I brought David Walker's, since he's the one who referred me to him, along to hand him his Kickstarter reward. I said, "Oh, please sign David's as well because I'm going to give it to him." And he says, "Oh yeah." He goes, "This is the first comic I've ever signed." And we're like, "Oh my God!" And I said, "When you become famous, you have to remember me." And he laughs. He goes, "I will. I will." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
We'll see.
I think fortunately yeah, we'll see. I think he really likes doing medieval stuff, so that may keep him coming back.
Nice.
Plus, I'm also pretty easy to work for, so that's helpful. And I pay on time, so there is that.
Also a big positive.
Yeah. So I realize my artists do need to eat and pay the rent. That's important.
It is important. All righty. Well, since you've got a pupper that needs some attention, we're going to let you get back to your life. Thank you so much for coming in again, Madeleine, and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Everybody go check out the Kickstarter.
And thank you for walking me through the whole Discord nightmare thing here for me.
Discard. There's a little bit of a Freudian slip.
Oops.
No problem. Happy to do your tech support anytime, as long as I have any idea what I'm talking about, which is never a given. But anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Madeleine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madeleine.
Thank you.
And with that, we're going to take a quick break and be back with Geek News for you. And we're back, and it's time for Geek News for you. In this segment, we bring a couple of these items to the table for discussion. This week is Liz and myself. And Liz, would you go first, please?
Yes. This is one I've kind of been keeping an eye on because I guess I've been paying for this service for quite a while. And that's what Microsoft is doing with their Xbox right now. Before, they have the Game Pass, and the Game Pass, you can get all, definitely allowed you online, but you can download your games. They give you access to free games. Some of them, depending on what tier package you were, you would get day one access to games instead of waiting. I think the next year was the next day. So all of it pretty good, reasonable. If you wanted a good pass, I think it was $14.99. Not bad. Like I said, I have watched this go up from, I think, $4.99 when the kids originally started playing way back when to where it is now. But still, if you think about that, Brandon is 27, 28, and they started playing when they were around 5. So in 23 years, that's really not a bad price increase, right? Well, Microsoft said, watch this. They have now deleted all their tiers, and they've done multi-tiers. There's 3 different tier packages now. To get what you have today, you're going to be paying $29.99.
A month.
51%, yes, 51% increase on the Game Pass. So at first, of course, everybody was kind of shell shocked by that because it's like, what the fuck? You know, that's a pretty big jump. You know, considering it's usually been 50 cents here, $1 here. You know, nothing. You know, twice the price of what you were paying before. So after that dust settled down, and of course, you know, on Twitch and all over Reddit and stuff, people are having cows, like literal baby Xbox cows, you know. I think I've seen them in Minecraft. um, so instead of Microsoft going, hey, I'm sorry, we understand you're upset. Oh no, they doubled down. And they were like, no, this is what's happening. You're going to pay it pretty much. So not only did they say you're going to pay it, but now some of the perks that we've been getting from day one, things like on their Game Pass, if they happen to play Spyro, perfect example because it happened to me. Spyro was offered on the Game Pass. Well, once the Game Pass, you know, once it ran out of time on the Game Pass, they said, hey, but if you want to buy this game, we'll give it to you now for like 60% off, you know. So it was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. They're no longer going to do that for you. Instead, what they're going to do is, hey, did you like Spyro? Buy it full price, and we'll give you points. You can have points. Yay! You can update your little avatar with your points, you know.
I was about to say, what do you get for the points?
Right. And I now, like I said, I'm usually PC, kids or console. I'd have to ask Brandon about it, but I don't even think you can redeem these points for like a discount coupon, like $10 off the next 100 or whatever. So it's kind of like, So even some of the good perks they have, they're starting to roll back. The only saving grace to any of this for right now is if you're a legacy customer, they'll keep you at your price. You won't get the same perks at that price, but they'll keep you at your same price. You're still not getting discounts on games. Unless you go up to the premium package, you're still not getting access to day one games like they did before. You're going to have to pay the $30 if you want that. But if your credit card expires or you let it run out, then they will automatically place you in the top tier again. So keep on those subscriptions if you've got the lower price, because they're looking for any way to gimp you up on that to make you pay the higher price. So keep on top of those subscriptions. But I just, with the way they've made things now, I don't even know if you can go buy a game anymore. I think it's all digital. And now they're telling you, you know, you have to download this, but it's not your game. You're going to now pay, what was Grand Theft Auto, did I say, was it $90 that it was coming out at?
Sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want access to this game, day one, you're going to have the $30 Game Pass, plus the $90 games, $120 out of the gate. Just right out of the gate before DLC. Oh, and that was another thing. Your points cannot be redeemed for DLC. They're no longer giving the discounts on any DLC either. You're going to pay full price for that stuff now. So I'm starting to question, what's the perk of being a Game Pass player? The only difference is you won't get access to day one games. You know, I think Dee said it was day two. I mean, have we not all wanted to watch a movie and waited for it to go on streaming before? You know, I see that only appealing to like Twitch streamers or people who need to get the game right out of the gate for maybe times, or what do they call that? Was it time runs? When they try to get the fastest times and everything else. So,
oh yeah, speed runs.
Speed runs. There you go. So I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I keep having this fight everywhere here lately. Everything is expensive. I mean, it's expensive. Everything is almost doubled, if not tripled in price. Our gas is not anywhere near going down. I mean, any time we get a break, we just had Abbott who said, "Hey, I'm going to give you guys a break on your property taxes." Now we've got the school district going in and going, "No, we want that. Give it to us instead." I mean, it's like everybody wants money right now, and not a lot of people have a lot of it. So I think this move on Microsoft's part is very tone deaf. They're going to wind up alienating a larger part of their gaming population. We're not all streamers. We don't make YouTube money. We're everyday people who are buying groceries and figuring out where gas is coming from. We don't have $120 for out of the gate game.
Streamers, they'll get some kind of deals because it's free promotion.
Well, they're probably sending this shit for free.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
a lot, but the big ones are, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, you're tried and true. I think I've had this speech with movies and stuff before, but you're tried and true who has kept you in business and has kept you above, or not above PlayStation, but, almost. But who have kept you relevant. You're now shitting on them. It's basically, we want this class of people because this is the class of people who can afford this shit nowadays. And that's not a diehard gamer. What is he going to have to do without? That's sad because a lot of them will do that too. I just I see this as a very greedy money grab at a really bad time right now. Really bad times. I think if they were needing more money, okay, if Bill Gates was needing more money, I think they should have slowly rolled this out, maybe 50 cents here or $1 here, and tell people by this date in 2026, this is going to be the price of this, instead of boom, here it is. If I don't like it, too bad, because that's pretty much what they've said. They don't care, And I hate when you read a lot of these comments, people are like, if you're poor, just say so. Well, I'm fucking poor, little dude. I mean, I'm sorry you're living in your mother's basement and maybe have a little extra throwaway money, but us big folks out here in the real world, we're kind of hurting right now. We don't have $30 for a game,
You have to pay bills and buy groceries and get gas and all that kind of stuff.
All the good stuff, which, like I said, is so expensive right now,
All the luxuries of life.
Yep. If you can afford it, wait a week. I'm sure there'll be a tariff on it, and you won't be able to. So, I don't know. It leaves a nasty taste in my mouth, It's when you see that these used to be smaller companies, these used to be nobodies, and now various people who want their no longer afford them, you've outpriced them. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I'm hoping their marketing team will come in and kind of go, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done this so quickly. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it because, like I said, they maintain their prices and have been fairly decent in price for a long time. I know that if they want to stay competitive in their war that they've had going on for years with Sony, this isn't the way to do it. Sony's, what is theirs, Play Pass or something like that. I mean, they don't have a library that Microsoft does, but they share it. A lot cheaper than what Microsoft is asking for. I've always said that Xbox was more of an entertainment, and Sony was more of a gaming station. All they do is games. Microsoft has stepped off into, now you can watch movies and do your music and all this other crap on your console that I think they forgot their roots and their core base. and their core base is that little gamer who's scraping pennies, for the latest release. And I still think that $90 for not even a physical copy of the game is insane. You guys are insane for paying those prices. Not in my day. My day, the highest game was like $30, and that was 2 discs. 2 discs, not a download.
You couldn't download that shit, and it would take you a week to download stuff back then.
Yeah, it definitely would. But the one thing I don't remember this about Sony. So I mean, if you can tell, Sony, I'm very biased. My dad worked on Sony for years. Love Sony. When, like Christmas, when we would fire up the Xboxes for the kids and that kind of thing, it seemed like every game you put in there, when they did have physical disc, you could put in there. It's like, wait, we have to download the update. What? Why don't I have the newest game in the freaking box? This is the newest game, and now you're telling me you already have an update and I've got to wait 2 hours for this crap? So Christmas morning was always find a game you want to play. Let's download it. Let's go somewhere and eat breakfast, and then we'll come back, and then maybe your game will be downloaded.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
So, yeah. Who wants to pay $30 a month for that? I don't know. To me, like I said, he's paid for his own way for quite a long time. I don't pay for that anymore. So, but this is something I will definitely keep an eye on as far as how their stocks are going to do and how many subscribers they lose over this, because to me it's a very ballsy move. And then, like I said, even to announce price change, when people were complaining about it, to even announce cuts, not only are we charging you the amount, you're not even getting the same amount of what you used to pay less for. That's crazy to me. So if they're watching like Adobe and them who mastered the art of backpedal, I think they need to backpedal a little. Save some of your customers before your big game comes out,
Mm.
Let's see. I'll update in the future to let you guys know how that did.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty. Well, this kind of surprised me, seeing this today. But considering what has been happening the last better part of the year, I mean, I guess I maybe shouldn't be surprised, but I'm surprised yet not surprised. I don't know. Anyway, y'all are familiar with the comic shop news, right? The little weekly little newspaper that you can usually pick up at the comic book store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in issue 1989, they announced they'll be printing a new comic, and this new comic features Team America. And no, this is not the Matt Stone, Trey Parker parody of Thunderbirds, not that. This is based off the Marvel Comics Ideal Toys comic from the late 70s to early 80s. I'm going to read this little thing that came from the announcement. The original comic was a joint venture between Marvel and Ideal Toys, featuring a ragtag team of motorcycle enthusiasts getting together to right some wrongs. Along the way, they meet Iron Man, Captain America, Ghost Rider, and even the Thing became a member of the team for one page of his own series. Team America was not a smash hit. The Marvel and Ideal Toys partnership ended, and Marvel kept the rights to the existing characters, rebranding them as Thunder Riders and eventually having Professor X explain how they were mutants all along. So Team America's coming back. It's kind of this is the latest of long lines of these comics / toy partnerships coming back. I mean, G.I. Joe and Transformers have been around forever, but their Marvel stuff has just been reprinted in compendium form. But ROM and Micronauts have both gotten omnibus and Epic collections out of nowhere. So it's kind of interesting to see this as the latest edition. Kind of makes you wonder if the Shogun Warriors are going to show up, depending on who has all of that. I mean, hell, they just did an omnibus form of Marvel's Godzilla run from the 70s. But I just attributed that to the movies the last couple of years or so. So
Right.
So very interesting. Team America is back.
Is it back, or is it just going to appear? Because if they didn't have an original issue, then it's not coming back.
They had 12 issues back in the late 70s and early 80s.
Okay.
And as far as I know, this is going to be original content. I mean, it doesn't say it, but I assume it is. Because I know back when I picked up the comic shop news, they were doing Spider-Mans, and those were, I'm pretty sure those was original content. I mean, I'm not gonna swear on a stack of Bibles, but I'm pretty sure that was the case. So
Okay.
It'll be interesting. It starts up in issue 2000. So you're another 11, 12 weeks.
A few months.
Somewhere around now. Yep.
Oh, okay. In
So like first of the year.
comic shop news. Okay.
Yeah, in comic shop news. Yeah, it's not a comic per se. It's going to be basically a comic strip.
Okay.
So.
I mean, hey, cool. Good for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would assume if that's going to happen, that they'll reprint the original content, which wouldn't be a heck of a lot. I don't know what else they've been in other than their own series, but obviously they did if they got rebranded as Thunder Riders.
Yeah.
But something to just look and see. So.
Yep.
Alrighty. Any special shout outs or mentions this week? Obviously, Madeleine.
Yep.
For joining us. Definitely check out the Kickstarter. There'll be a link in the show notes.
There will.
Anything else? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike.
That's all I got.
Okay, I guess no one else has anything. All right.
Nothing here. Thanks.
Well, we'll move on to our regular shout-outs. I want to thank Pop Goes Culture for allowing us to be a part of a little great podcast network. We recommend you check them out. There'll be a link in the show notes for them as well. I want to thank Potter and Family for retweeting our links on Twitter. Recommend that you check them out as well. The best way to do that is just do search #Potter and Family, all one word, and just scroll through and whatever catches your eye. By all means, download that episode and check them out. Want to thank Manny the Martyr for supplying music to the podcast. In the show notes, there'll be a link where you can check out some of their other material. And you, dear listener, thank you for downloading and listening to today's episode. We value your feedback. Our email address is email@thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. Or you can go to the website, go to the About Us page, and there's a contact form you can fill out. We do have Discord that's free to join. The sign up for Discord is free. The apps are free in the app stores. We do have open invitation on our homepage. We'll post a lot of news items, stuff to discuss, stuff to laugh at, stuff to listen to. We'll do some events on there as well. So if you want to come hang out with us, by all means do so. Social media wise, we're on Facebook, The Fellowship of the Geeks. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky at Fellowship Geeks. If you want to follow our personal Twitter accounts, Mike can be found at Mikey Geek. Liz can be found at LN_Geek. Les may or may not be found at Fake Les Webster. And I can be found at Tom TC Geek. And from wherever you download our episodes, if you'd be so kind as to rate and review the show, it would be greatly appreciated. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Just thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate support as always. Until next time, geek on, my friends.
We thank you for listening to the show. Comments, suggestions, and questions can be sent to email at thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. You can follow us on Facebook at The Fellowship of the Geeks and on Twitter at Fellowship Geeks. Until next time,